Hey, this is Notser. This is the Tier 7 Japanese battleship Nagato. It has 8 410mm guns, 26 secondary guns, 49 AA defense rating, a surface detect of 17.1 kilometer, top speed 25 knots, total health 65,000. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main battery, increase main battery accuracy, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift. For my commander, situation awareness, basic survivability, faster turret traverse, and superintendent. We are on the map Two Brothers, and this was recorded in 1440p. I have downscaled it to 1080p, and part of the reason is the UI scale is just terrible. I don't know how you guys play at 1440p 4K. I can't look at the team panels and read the names easily. I have to actually look at it. For the minimap, it's smaller. I'm at a disadvantage. I can't easily gather every single bit of detail that I want from the minimap. It's all very inconvenient how tiny it happens to be. Now, yes, it is legible. I could easily read all of this, but in combat, no. You have to focus on combat, and that's exactly what I try to do. Now, we're going to lead the target. And I probably let him a little bit too much because he's trying to stop, and I notice, oh, he's trying to stop because he has smoke and he sent out torpedoes, both left and right of this little island. And I'm just confirming that I have enough room. You're sailing around trying to be your own ship in a combat scenario, and you have players who want to be right on your butt because you're taking their attention. I can do everything I want around you. Or they feel like, hey, this guy probably knows what he's doing. And I get it more often than not, which is fine. But I really do need the potential to pull a 180. That's the sort of player I am. You've watched plenty of videos where I have abruptly changed course. I don't care. I react based on the minimap, based on the angling of my enemies, and I notice that this enemy Baltimore is sitting right at the edge of the island. And I would love to shoot him to punish how stationary he is. I can't, though. Instead, I'm going to go after the Hatsuharu. We do have AP loaded. Why are you firing AP? I'm not going to swap. My intention is not to go after these destroyers. It just so happens I'm engaging them. I want to kill the Baltimore. He is remaining stationary far too long. Am I giving up damage? Absolutely, if I have to engage the destroyer. But for that chance that I could basically one-shot the Baltimore, it's worth it to me. Now, the enemy team, so far, so good for them. Really bad for us. The enemy Baltimore is backing up. We try and lead him in reverse, and I think I get pretty good shot. 19,000, we destroy one of his 3 guns. And I'm sure he didn't appreciate that. But you can't stay stationary. You have to be in a position that you won't easily take damage, and that's exactly what he did. I don't know why anyone would ever sit on the corner of an island and expect to not be the #1 attention of a battleship. So, a couple friendlies are pushing into D, which is great. Both the enemy destroyers have pulled back. They tried to send a torpedo, but alas, they don't hit us. So, of course, the Baltimore, I want to get out of here as fast as he possibly can. The enemy Hatsuharu appears just as I fire. And part of that is the scale of the UI. I just don't have time to react because it's much smaller. This is as large as I can make it. In World of Tanks, there's really no cap on how big you can make the minimap, so you could play, oh nice, you could play at an extremely high resolution and still have a massive minimap. And that really is the biggest issue. The minimap, it has to be the most important piece of real estate on your monitor. Absolutely. Especially now that they have all the extra information there. So it has to be big enough that you can easily see it while you're paying attention to something completely different. And I'm trying my best to land some shots, and we do land a couple. We're going to take at least 1 torpedo. Only 1. Thankfully, only 1, and it doesn't cause a flood. How often does that happen when a destroyer torpedo doesn't cause a flood? you're pretty lucky. At that point, you feel pretty lucky. So we don't have to use damage control. And the Baltimore is still retreating. He's still within range, and he's just low enough that I'm crazy enough to fire at him. But he does disappear. So we're not going to see a confirmation on the damage we do. We're only going to see ribbons, and we only got one shell dispersed into his ship. An enemy cruiser in the form of the Hipper is also in the area. He's got good angling, but maybe he's going to make a mistake. That enemy destroyer is definitely to the southeast side of the map, and I'm going to try and communicate that to my team. And DD, yes, DD. Try and be as short and sweet. This enemy Hipper is using the premium camouflage. Maybe that means he really likes the ship. I can't really read it. Based on what I see, he's a passive player. Now, that could be unfair, Notser. But that's what it looks like when you go behind an island that early on. Notice the battleship on my team that's going behind the island all the way at the north side of the map. Yeah, that's not a useful location for you to go. I don't know why people think that's acceptable, why that's useful. We miss on the Hipper. He has softened his angle, though. He has to deal with the border. And I'm really hoping I can lead him in the right direction, get a citadel, take him out of the fight, and move on to sea. And we get a big citadel shot. We knock out his propulsion, 17,000 points of damage. It worked out pretty well. The border is a disadvantage when you have ships that can fire on you, and you're in range. It's just the way it goes. If your detectability is that bad, you need to be careful and use the mini-map to run the border of your detectability, along with running the border. And his propulsion was knocked out for an extended period of time, it appeared. He had to sit there. I fire basically at his ship, hoping to take him out, and I overshoot a little bit, surprisingly. I have the Baltimore on the inside. I don't want to squeeze him off to the island. Just going to sail in parallel with him as best as I can. And finally, the enemy Baltimore is defeated. I think that was the enemy Baltimore that we were chasing the entire time. He did use a heal, but he was only up to like 6,000, which is easily taken out by a big battleship. No, actually, he's still alive. He's still alive. Really? Come on, take this Hipper out. Get this Hipper. There we go. Hipper's taken out. The enemy destroyer is dealing with a friendly destroyer. I call out the next lowest health target. He's showing a ton of his side. Some battleship must be rearmed and ready to fire at him. The torpedoes from the enemy destroyer are incoming, and I do not want to take them. The enemy, or at least a group of the enemy, have pushed to our main base, captured it, and are now in a process of being completely hidden. Are they going to come through the gap? Are they going to continue on to D? I don't know. The two friendlies that are basically defense, which they're not defense, they're just afraid of dying. Let's call it like it is. They're afraid of taking damage. They want to live to the end of the battle. They feel like that will do the best for their team, and obviously that's not. We all know that's not useful. Speaking of useful, the friendly Kutuzov is basically attached to my stern. I'm kind of pushing him out of the way so I can bring my guns to bear on the Hatsuharu because he's visible now. Another enemy destroyer, the Fubuki, sent his torpedoes against my assault force, and everyone's pretty parallel to them. There's not a lot of issues with that torpedo. That's great. We can continue to put pressure on the enemy. Now notice something that wasn't a part of this group. Battleships. Yes, all the battleships on the enemy team, for whatever reason, were leading an assault and left their cruisers to come back and defend. And maybe the cruisers were not successful in defending. Of course they weren't. We're alive, right? The battleships took forever to come back. In fact, they are just now coming back. Everyone, please, let's kill his Baltimore. I fired at him. I get a 3K shot. Someone else fires. Can we kill him? Finally kill this guy. He deserves to die. In the video game, of course. He doesn't deserve, if he's on my team, he deserves to live for all the effort he's put into it. But for whatever reason, the battleships were so slow to react to the threat. One of them needed to volunteer to support this. these cruisers have no... Yeah, finally he's dead. The cruisers have no backbone. The North Carolina, he's pretty far forward. He's probably going to die. He's probably going to die to that Iowa. But he can do as much damage as he possibly can. I'm going to assist him as well. I am just salivating at the prospect of broadsiding in Iowa. It's a 2-tier advantage, but his positioning is terrible. It really is terrible. It could not be worse. So we set up a waterline shot. We let it fly with the front guns. We get 16,000 points of damage done. The North Carolina, he fires as well, and he takes the rest. About 35,000 in only his front 2 guns. He probably had 3 citadels, just absolutely destroyed the Iowa, and of course he destroyed him, Notser. He had terrible angling. I know he did. But his health pool should have stated there was no chance he could take out the Iowa. All the Iowa had to do is have good angling and chip him down. But he didn't. And the North Carolina was able to exploit that, and it's great to see. Now, he's probably going to die to the Nagato. I'm trying to help him. I would love to get in front of him, you know, jump in front of the shot. But the secondaries alone will probably kill off the North Carolina. And since I am not the target of this enemy battleship, I'm going to rotate and bring my back guns online. And of course, game, you disperse short and long. We lose the friendly. And I'm just sucking real hard on this guy. He should have taken so much damage from me. And now that the North Carolina is dead, I have to re-angle and protect myself. The enemy Nagato doesn't appear to want to engage me. He's engaging other targets. I don't blame him. And look at his guns slowly rotating, and we get a little bit too high. Come on, Notser, take him out. Here's a good waterline shot. No citadel. 13,000 points of damage and destroyed a gun, but no citadel. He fired at the front. The angling was just enough to absorb and deflect any possible citadel. We got pretty lucky though. He did damage one of my front guns, so I only have access to one of the 2, but my back guns are ready to go, and he's so low that this should easily kill him. And it does. We get a citadel. Way overkill. It was like 3k when the citadel would normally do 10k. And he takes complete torpedo attack. His corpse protects my ship, and I'm very thankful for that, because it could have ended really bad with all those torpedoes. Now, the game is so close to ending. Can we get the enemy Fubuki? I'm going to give it my best shot, Captain. We miss with our salvo. The friendly cruiser gets a little bit of damage. He's able to avoid the torpedoes. Our 3 front guns are ready to go. He's just about to get behind the island, and we let our guns fly again. They stay true. They stay accurate. We didn't do near the amount of damage to him, but I was committed to firing on him. I probably could have held off. Either way, it was really fun to push as a team. That's rare, right? We got 3 kills, 4 citadels, 2 base captures, 2,446 base XP. Top on the team. We did around 105,000 points of damage, and it was pretty evenly distributed between 3 or 4 ships, and I was happy with the performance of the ship. I had a lot of fun pushing with the team. It's pretty rare that you go into a random battle and the whole team works together that well. The enemy team just completely misplayed. They needed to come back with their battleships and try and be as defensive as possible. I hope you enjoyed seeing this game. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.